we are in a situation where, because we are not the ones causing this stress and we cannot fix this stress, but we are experiencing the stress, we have no way to complete the stress cycle. You know, I've kind of grown tired in the process of doing this channel, but you know, we're going through a lot of changes as we figure this channel out. And I was just reading, I get one opinion piece article a day from the New York Times. I read one. And so I was reading this article in my email this morning, and it's called The Morning, The Grimaced Dilemma. And it's talking about how that, and this is, you know, really freaking me out. And that's why I'm doing this, because I'm sure it's freaking a lot of people out. New York Times writer Max Fisher has written that the prospect of nuclear war, like even saying that makes me want to throw up. So it seems that the UN Secretary General, Antonio, Guterres, warned last week that the prospect of nuclear war is now back within the realm of possibility. And this article is saying that, you know, the threat of nuclear war is perhaps higher now than it was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The fuck am I supposed to do with that information? It's one of those things that, like, you're going through your email and this is sandwiched in between. Let me tell you what is in my email. So I've got Bath & Body Works national fragrance deals today, because today is National Fragrance Day, apparently. Jim Louderback from VidCon has a whole slew of things in his weekly newsletter, followed by the New York Times this morning, The Grimaced Dilemma, and then followed by a newsletter from Gabby Bernstein, Is My Cat My Spirit Guide? Also, by the way, there are 2 new Shani dolls available on eBay right now. How are you fitting all that into your day? The thing is that it's really hard to hold in your head and function a reality where there is a war in the Ukraine involving Russia. We, the United States, most of the Western world, most of the world are basically like, this is bad, Russia needs to stop, but they have nuclear weapons. And the only other people with like the same amount of nuclear weapons is the United States. And so we're all going to look at you, United States. What are you going to do about it? And we, of course, are like, well, we're not, you know, we're the only people to ever use nuclear weapons against another country, another group of people. And it was horrific and evil and devastating. And the knowledge that our country is the only country, and we did it twice. If you've never read the book Black Rain, not the movie with Michael Douglas, there's a book called Black Rain, and it is about life in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I think it's mostly Nagasaki. I mean, I read the book 30 years ago, after the bombs. So it's like, as a kid who grew up in the 70s and 80s under the threat of thermonuclear war, mutually assured destruction, I knew everything. In high school, I knew like what everybody's arsenal was. I like totally knew what was going on. And now I realize that there is another generation that is living through and is going to have to live through that terror. And that generation is my kid. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to say. So what do we do? You're like, Melissa, you're supposed to be helping us get better together. What do we do? Okay, what do you do in these situations? What am I going to do in this situation? First of all, I am going to believe that we will all remember, all of us, including Putin, will remember the horror that is actually what happens when you use nuclear weapons on anyone, anything, any land, any place. And that will keep staying everyone's hand from pushing the button. By the way, it is not just a button There is a whole situation in place where as the DEFCON goes down, by the way, DEFCON doesn't go up, it goes down, and DEFCON 1 is really bad. I mean, does anybody remember the Iron Maiden song 2 Minutes to Midnight? There was a nuclear clock that told us how close we were to freaking annihilating ourselves. And 2 Minutes to Midnight is a song about, like, this is where we are right now. You know, we're living at 2 minutes to midnight. I don't know where we are on the nuclear clock. I don't know if anyone has the nuclear clock anymore. I don't even know if people are still using the DEFCON system, although I suspect they are, and I think the numbers are going down. What I'm doing is I am stepping up every single self-help, personal development, mental health, and self-care strategy, technique, every single thing that I have. I meditated today. I prayed today. I did yoga today. I went for a walk outside today. Folks, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. That was before I saw the email. But I did all of those things. And I will continue to do things that help calm me, that help me release the energy. If you remember, a long time ago, we talked about a book called Burnout. I'm going to link that book down again. The important thing that I learned from that book, and you can listen to the podcast with Brene Brown, with the sisters who wrote this book, and it talks about completing the stress cycle. And we are in a situation where, because we are not the ones causing this stress and we cannot fix this stress, but we are experiencing the stress, we have no way to complete the stress cycle that we're living under. So that is why I meditated. I did yoga, which caused me to do some very thoughtful breathing. I did some really good, breathing exercises. Breathe all the way down, hold it, exhale all the way, squeeze every last piece of air out of your lungs, and then hold that for 5, and then slowly inhale again. Did a whole bunch of that. Did walking around the block really, really fast for me. I was listening to a really interesting book that I was just, kind of helped take me away from this. I got on my knees and I prayed. I wrote in my journal. I told you I did yoga. I took a shower and I put on makeup. Putting on makeup is relaxing to me. It's self-care. It's affirming. It's a positive thing. But here's the other piece. We also need, in this very, very difficult time, we need to give grace to ourselves. I'm sorry the camera's shaking so much. My leg is shaking. Not because I'm nervous. It's an MS thing and it's hitting the friggin' table. I've already fallen down twice today. Like, physically fell down twice. Stress and MS, not a good situation. I nearly put my hand through a window just a few minutes ago. You're like, but you're doing all the stuff to reduce stress. Yeah, guys, well, there's only so much we can do to complete the stress cycle when it just keeps happening. But I want you to do those things. I want you to listen to that podcast. Okay? It's your first assignment. Listen to the podcast below. Stop watching this video. Go listen to the podcast. Second of all, give yourself and everyone around you grace. What do I mean by that? We are all right now living on the very fringe edges of our comfort zones. After the last 2 years, and for many of us, longer than that, because of the dehumanization that happened, starting in 2016 to so many of us and to so many people we love. There's so much going on, okay? We are all, okay? So, when someone acts out, either in a way that it just is annoying to you, you don't understand, you think they're being mean, you think that they're just being a bad person, I ask you to do this for me. I ask you to stop. Don't go into attack mode. Try to put a little distance between yourself and the person emotionally and mentally, and just stop and say, this person's as freaked out as I am. And whatever they're doing is heightened because of everything that we're going through. Okay? So, and then from there, choose what you're going to do about it. More importantly, I want you to give yourself grace. those of us who struggle with a lot of things, life in general, it's so much harder right now, right? Like, like I'm just, coming to grips with the fact that I have an eating disorder. And it's like, does that even freaking matter if like this is going on? It does. But at the same time, when I engage in my maladaptive behaviors, whatever they might be, I'm not saying that we have license to go out and, give into our addictions and give into despair and depression. I'm not saying that we need to stop being vigilant or disciplined or mindful. What I am saying is that when we fall down, literally fell down twice today, by the way. I said that already, but literally twice. Both times I fell down, I stopped and I was like, what the heck? Because I didn't even feel it coming. I don't know if a leg went out. I really don't know how I fell, okay? I caught myself before I went all the way down, but I almost put my hand through the window in the catching of myself. But what happens when you physically almost fall down? You stop for a second, right? And you go, whoa, okay, what just happened there? All right, let me just, all right, shake it off, pull myself back together, and then get up and move on. So if you fall down today, this week, in the coming days, in the years to come, you fall off the wagon, you fall into the pit of depression, you fall and stumble in your relationships, you say or do something you regret and you wish you hadn't done. Just pull yourself together, take a look around at yourself, go like, wow, what just happened here? Understand that probably stress is a big part of what just happened. And then pick yourself up and go on with your life. I don't know that you won't fall again. I'm wondering if I'm going to fall again today. Kind of like, is this going to happen again? Because that was scary. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning. I did it twice. I don't usually fall, by the way, physically. Not that often, at least. So I want you to go listen to this podcast. And I want you to be really, really good to yourselves today and every day. I want you to give yourselves grace. I want you to give grace to everybody in the world. Anybody who offends you, pisses you off, hurts you, breaks your heart, I want you to stop and just remember that they're going through exactly this same worldwide scenario that you're going through. I'm not saying that excuses any bad behavior at all. I just want you to stop and remember that we are all on the outermost fringes of our comfort zone. We're all terrified, and we are all also very curious about what the fragrance deals are at Bath & Body Works. And I kind of want to read the newsletter about Gabby's cat maybe being her spirit animal, because this is the duality of being human. This is what it means, that at one moment we can be absolutely terrified in the depths of despair and depression, but then we also have this beautiful gift to be like, oh, shiny thing. And keep going. And it's because of that beauty. It's because of that amazing duality and multiplicity of being human that I have hope. And my hope and my conviction is that the DEFCON's going to go back up, okay? That we're going to move further away from midnight, and that we are not going to annihilate ourselves. It's because there is so much else. There's 2 Shani dolls available on eBay right now, okay? I'm not trying to make light of any of this. I'm saying that there is so much to live for and so many beautiful things. It's a beautiful sunny day. There's a hawk like over, oh, there he is. There's the hawk right there. That's beautiful. I love it. And so I'm going to keep fighting. I hope you keep fighting too. I hope that you go listen to this podcast and complete your stress cycle as often as you can, and Be nice to yourself. Give yourself grace for the mistakes that you have made and are going to make today, tomorrow, and every day as we live through this tremendous stress. And try to please give a little grace to the people around you who are going through the same crap. That's actually how we get better together. I love you guys.